Absolutely, I agree with that. But I also do think LeBron is angry about, not or upset about the Jordan comparisons. I do think he's tired. That's why I am very careful when I say it exactly this way. Out of balance is what the issue is. Out of balance.
LeBron James is tired of the Michael Jordan comparisons. You heard that right. Close your jaws, unroll your eyes. This is something that he truly believes. But what he refuses to accept is that he helped create this monster. We wouldn't be making these comparisons so much if it wasn't for... This is something that he embraced right from the beginning. Before he was drafted to the NBA, the media claimed that LeBron would be the next Michael Jordan. He had the opportunity to form his own path and to do his own thing. Instead, he invited all the comparisons and debates by actually wearing number 23. He has admitted himself that he wore that number in homage to his idol. Not even Kobe Bryant was foolish enough to do this. He was receiving the same comparisons when he entered the league. It goes without saying that it wasn't anywhere near the same level of hype, but it was obvious that he wanted to be like Mike. He would mimic the same mannerisms, play style, and even spoke the same way. But he never wore 23 at any point of his career because he knew what kind of discourse this would create if he acknowledged that what everyone was saying was true. He would be adding more fuel to the fire. And everything that he would do would fall back to the original 23. For the first handful of years of LeBron's career, that was the effect of his decision of wearing the same number as Michael Jordan. Whatever he would do, we would compare it to what Michael Jordan did at the same point of his career. But that's not all. Do you remember back in 2009 when he wanted to start a petition to get players to stop wearing number 23? At this point, he knew exactly how the media worked. He knew what kind of reaction this would cause by trying to force the NBA to retire the number 23 in honor of Michael Jordan. Inevitably, you're going to cause people to make comparisons between the two. Because, you're one of the few players that's wearing the number 23. You're kind of telling on yourself that you can never live up to his name, that you're not worthy of wearing his number. And see, that's what makes this comment by LeBron so interesting. No one asked him this question about his choice of wearing number 23 in the beginning of the 2009/10 season. He voluntarily went to the media and told them straight up that no NBA player should wear number 23. And of course, this was going to be the topic of discussion for all the sports talk shows for the following days. And who was the sole reason for this discussion? But it gets even worse. It's 2016. He just won his third title. He just gave the city of Cleveland his first championship since 1964. And this is when the GOAT debate really starts taking off. This was the actual birth of the Michael Jordan versus LeBron James GOAT discourse. For all the LeBron witnesses, this gave him a legitimate shot at surpassing Michael Jordan. He obviously hears this. He knows that the debate shows won't stop talking about this. So what does he do? He grabs a red safety can full of gasoline and pours it all over the fire. He says, "My motivation is this ghost I'm chasing." The ghost played in Chicago. And this was a calculated move by LeBron. He knew what kind of response this would create, not just for the upcoming season, but for the rest of his career. And to this day, people continue to use the same phrase. He's chasing the ghost from Chicago. At that point, he made it clear the reason why he was playing. It was to surpass Michael Jordan as the greatest player of all time. From that point forward, people were starting to keep score. People would try to determine when he caught up to Michael and when he surpassed him in this race. That quote said a lot of things about him. Is that he heard all the debates between him and Michael. Not only that, but he wanted the debate to intensify. If he truly didn't like this discourse, he would have never said such an impactful thing. And we're still feeling the after effects of that quote. All the signs say that this was his plan all along. If you know anything about LeBron, it's that he is very calculated with what he says to the media. He puts a lot of thought to what he says. Everything is premeditated. What makes his attentions so obvious that he doubles down a few years later. In 2018, he's talking about his 2016 championship. He's talking about coming back from 3-1 against the Warriors. And what does he say? That one right there made me the greatest player of all time. I thought he was chasing ghosts. Apparently, he made up his mind and he surpassed him at that moment. And where does he say this? ESPN Plus, the belly of the beast, the platform to help create this discourse that he hates so much. And that brought even more conversations about the GOAT, the topic that everyone believes is lazy journalism and everyone's tired of the same old debate. Well, whose fault is that here? This is the most important and valuable player of the sport at that time. He knows this. He knows how much impact his words have. When he calls himself the greatest of all time, what are we supposed to do with that? How does he expect us to react? He's creating the narrative. He is giving us topics to discuss. And it started even before he played his first NBA game. He helped create this monster. And if we look back, we can clearly see that he welcomed the comparisons with open arms. And as the years went on, he wanted to hear certain members of the media call him the greatest of all time. To complain now is just... it's unbelievable. It's him playing the victim when he's had a direct effect on how we talk about the game. But hey, that's what I think. What about you all? Do you all have sympathy for LeBron? Do you view this another way? Let me know down below. Till next time.